you right now. He held it up, and there you see it. Trump acquitted. And there you hear all of those people in the room. He named a lot of supporters in the room, members of his legal team, so on and so forth. One person did speak up when he said if there's anybody who wants to speak at the very end there, and it was Representative Mark Meadows who said, "We've got your back." I want to bring in now Bret Baier, chief political anchor and anchor of Special Report. Bret, a lot there. We first heard from the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, in her weekly news conference, and this was more than a clapback, because this had been planned since his tweet, the president's tweet, yesterday afternoon, that this would happen at noon Eastern.
Harris, clearly this was not a teleprompter speech. This was the president, pretty much stream of consciousness, reacting as he saw it to how this all went down. As you saw, thanking all of the different people in the room, his legal team getting a standing ovation, Senator Mitch McConnell getting a standing ovation, and then one by one going through all of the senators and House members. I was struck by, first of all, how perhaps Senator Susan Collins, when she said that the president has learned from this, he's learned something, but it probably wasn't that he was wrong. That's not what he takes away from it. He says that it was an evil impeachment at one time, which was raising eyebrows. He said it was all BS, using the real word. And, you know, for some people who haven't seen President Trump on the stump, this was a lot like a stump speech, a campaign rally, and kind of a victory lap in this moment. There's nothing that prevents the president from doing that. It's not tradition to give a political type speech from the White House grounds, but there's nothing illegal about doing it. The Hatch Act doesn't apply to him. But this was unlike anything we've ever seen. He clearly wanted to get those thoughts out one by one about why he thinks this was all made up. But he is not regretting anything. And if you look at the acquittal speech after the last impeachment in the United States, Bill Clinton in 1999, it was starkly different than that. And Bill Clinton in 1999 said, "I want to say again to the American people how profoundly sorry I am for what I said and did to trigger all this." That's a different tone. He is saying this is 3 years of people going after him.
Can I just want to slide in something that critics will say on behalf of the president, that those two things might not be apples and apples because President Clinton actually did lie.
I don't understand. I'm just saying the tone and delivery
that
is different.
Actually, I mean, that is behavior that is punishable by impeachment because of what. So I was just pointing that out.
No, fair. I'm just saying that the last time we saw an acquittal speech, it was much different than this speech. The circumstances are different. This was Trump being Trump. This was President Trump being Trump. And for the people who love him, this will continue to rise him in the polls within his supporters. For the people who don't like them, this will throw them, really off, and they will continue to say that this shouldn't be happening inside the White House.
So when Gallup looks and finds 49% approval for this president, which is it's kind of a little bit like Clinton. He saw his highest rating right after the House impeached him. I'm just wondering, aren't those all people, or are they just predominantly people who like the president? Because it seems like things are ticking up and he's gotten things done. What do you think?
I think that you have to watch the independent number, and it's even swinging his way, so you make a good point there. I think that this acquittal this week was probably one of the best weeks of his presidency politically. While he was speaking, the head of the Democratic Party, Tom Perez, called for a recanvassing of the Iowa vote, a re-look at all of the votes in Iowa. It could not be more of a disaster from the Iowa caucuses. It cannot be more of a disaster for Democrats who are trying to find someone who's going to go up against President Trump. And despite how angry they are and ripping up speeches and everything else that's being said, President Trump is winning politically this week. And he took that victory lap today.
Real quickly, because I want to ask you about this. The president singled